Go. Gonna play a league or two with the old Doomsday meme, 5C Doomsday meme. Uh, Monkeys Can't Cry got a 5-0 with it, uh, which is dope. Um, I admit I wish I'd gotten to it first, but that's the way life is sometimes. Uh, this is the list I'm on right now. Um, it's virtually identical to Monkey's 5-0 list, except for went -1 Infernal Contract, +1 Street Wraith in the main deck. Um, I was basically never using Contract for piles, uh, and it was the worst business spell by a wide margin. So adding the second Street Wraith makes Doomsdays a little bit better and more versatile. Uh, and there doesn't really seem to be any loss of uh, I don't know, consistency or anything like that by subtracting the worst business spell from the deck. Otherwise, it looks exactly the same. You may notice that it is a little different from some of the other versions I was playing before that had like some number of preordains. Like I think this version had, no, not that version. Maybe it was this version. What's up, Doishi? Glad to see you watching. So yeah, this version had preordains instead of spirit guides basically. I want to try a version that's a little bit faster, so this is where we're at. Um, no preordains, the second Street Wraith, and up to 2 spirit guides again. So just gotta jump into right into a league with this. Uh, Actually, I want to see. I'm pretty sure I've got. Yeah, I've been slowly regaining some play points because of my interminable 4-1s. Right? Yeah. Uh, the real what the fuck? It's 5 basic islands. There's never anything good in those, but whatever. Yeah, the what I really mean, I think, the yeah, right. Gemstone Caverns would be pretty good, and you could silence your opponent in their first upkeep, and you only have to mull the like 4 to do it. Um, Echoes not being as reliable is actually was kind of an issue, or felt like maybe it was kind of an issue without the spirit guides in the deck. Um, and so having the extra free mana sources kind of uh, helps make those echoes, especially with no mana floating, a little bit more reasonable. Because like I do advocate a lot of the time keeping hands that just echo on turn one, especially once you start mulling. Uh, and so having those hands be more reliably able to convert into something meaningful uh, just makes good sense. So this hand is interesting. Um, I'm on the play. It can echo turn one with no mana floating. I'm probably supposed to keep this, I think. Um, so I will. Because worst case scenario, assuming the echo resolves, even if that echo doesn't go anywhere, I'll be back to a full hand with mana sources, permanent mana sources. So I think the echo here is fine. Okay, so my opponent mulled 6. Uh, I think I don't want to imprint both empties here, and I want red and black anyway. Um, in for if this does go poorly, so feel like there's kind of a good chance my opponent is on a blue deck, but just because of the way they're choosing, uh, like they're delaying a little bit. They haven't F6 or anything. Um, yeah, exactly. Just make them have it. Yep. So they're force pitching force. So I'm not going to scoop just yet because I want to see what they're playing. Obviously it's a blue deck, but I'm, when I'm in leagues, I'm try to be better about not straight scooping. Snow-covered island, okay. Ponder, yeah. I mean, this isn't telling me a whole lot. It's possible that I could draw into like LED plus Echo and go off again pretty quick. But I'm not going to be able to do anything right away, so I'm just going to yield through this turn. Yeah, 8. So this looks like it's probably just like with Snoko. 8 beats is definitely an option, although I'm kind of inclined to think that it's not the best option. Um, like I'm certainly not going to spend this ritual to ape. What do we got? Ice Fang Cuddle, sure. Um, I think it's more reasonable to like if I drew a Burning Wish or Doomsday here, I could cast one of those and think about going off. Um, if I mean I could, they don't have a very fast clock right now, so if I just guess, I probably shouldn't yield right now because if I draw a Doomsday, I'd want to be able to cast it. So I'll need to be a little more careful there. If I drew a Burning Wish, I can make 8 goblins, which isn't so bad. Um, so yeah, at this point, oh, interesting. This might be Omnitel. So 8 goblins isn't really where I want to be. There's an Echo. Well, so I need a blue mana source, but a Manamorphose here would do it. Um, or even like a Spoils of the Vault, I think would be enough. This matchup's tough though. I do find that the like blue green Omnitel deck is slower than like full on show and tell. So uh, they like Empty the Warrens is still pretty reasonable against them a lot of the time. Although it does make sideboarding a little tougher. I'm sure at this point they're mostly looking for interaction for me because they probably don't feel like they're under a whole lot of pressure to end the game. Um, yeah, I feel like the straight blue green Omni builds are almost more like a combo control deck, in that they're really trying to like the excuse me blue red like Sneak and Show, classic Sneak and Show is more trying to have just enough protection to force its combo through, and blue green it definitely seems like it's trying to create a game state where it is almost like guaranteed to force its combo through. They have so much interaction that there's no way they can lose. So they tend to play a little slower, I feel like. But I could also very easily just see like Intuition and Dead here. Cunning Wish and Dead, that's basically the same thing. Sublime Epiphany. Hold on a sec. What the fuck is this? Wild. Okay. So, but yeah, the fact that they're just wishing for interaction is kind of wild. Can they even cast that right now? This might just be the Intuition. Okay. It's interesting. Well, if I don't, I might get another turn. Might not, but I might get another turn. Um, nope. Okay, so there's a City of Traders, so now they can cast the thing, and then if they don't just have the kill, um, I don't think there's any reason for me to put anything onto the battlefield. Yeah, there's Omniscience. So, okay, good enough for me. Well, they had the force right off the bat. So let's think here. How do I want to play this match? I think what I want to do here is actually cut echoes, because I think that echoing against this deck is actually pretty awkward. Um, a lot of the time, like obviously if you have silence up, that's fine. Um, but a lot of the time, echoes are going to be a good way to risk giving your opponent all the tools that they need. A new fresh hand for them isn't exactly the best. So I'm going to try this. We're just going to cut the echoes. I need to cut one more card, and I think without the echoes, I can cut a Spirit Guide. So I think I want to just do that. So yeah, probably unfortunately going to lose this match. I'll try my best, of course, but hopefully the rest of the league will go okay. Still a chance here, obviously, but I find that these blue combo decks are very tough. Show and tell variants, mean deck, Doomsday, the odd blue black reanimator type deck, um, things like that can be rough. I don't think I can keep this. It doesn't do anything. Like it doesn't make enough mana on turn one, and I don't think a turn two is going to be good enough. So I'm going to maul. Hmm. I kind of feel like I'm supposed to keep this, although it's risky. But I feel like if I go much lower, I'm going to have a hard time doing anything. Like the one thing about cutting the echoes is that it makes your mulligans a lot worse because with echo in the deck you can theoretically mulligan to 2 and still win on turn 1. I think I'm gonna maul. I think this hand is just too risky. Because like I need to either put Doomsday back and then write a flame into Manamorphose and draw another mana source to be able to make goblins. 1, 2, 3, 4, make 10 goblins. Or Yeah, and I can't put the Burning Wish back because then I won't have red mana to. I guess actually, no. Maybe I am supposed to keep this. I think I'm just going to keep this. And then I have to put the Doomsday back. I don't know if this is right, but like this seems pretty high risk. Um, but I'm not sure that like this hand has a plan. I'm not sure that a Mull to 5 is going to have a better plan. Maybe just like turn 1 Dark Red Doomsday, you could argue is a better plan. Um, but because like I feel like there's a good chance that either this or the Manamorphose just gets countered. Yeah. Interesting though that they pitched Omni, so that means that they either have like extra combo pieces or they just felt that this was important enough to move on. Now, the one advantage of keeping this hand, I think, is that if they do give me a few turns, I could rebuild, and rebuilding back into a natural empty is going to be better than something rebuilding into something that's more vulnerable to counter magic. But yeah, exactly, Doshi. They either were willing to pitch it because they they have a lot of redundancy, or they pitch it because they I do think you're supposed to force that Manamorphose though. With only 2 cards left in my hand, and I used up all my floating mana, like I created a choke point for myself. So unless the last 2 cards in my hand are LED Echo, then you know there's I'm not going to continue going off, which makes me think that there's probably they don't have much action in their hand and they have a more counter magic heavy hand. Would be my guess. And they're hoping to just stay alive long enough to draw into the action. Now, so the Rite of Flame was a good draw though, because if I can draw a Black Mana Source, then I can make goblins, and I'd be willing to make only 8 goblins as well. If I drew a land, I'm not sure if I'd make only 6 goblins though. But they said no shuffle. Okay, no shuffle because the Misty probably they can fetch away their shit. All right. Well, I drew it. I'm probably supposed to just try it. The one thing about this is that I do think it really reads. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot to be gained from me waiting a turn here. Really interesting. They're thinking they might do something about. Oh, actually, that's. Oh no, they can still make blue with the Astrolabe. Chanting me. Well, that sucks, but it's interesting. I definitely didn't see a chant coming. Okay, that's all right. I got another mana source on the board, but they could also just have the kill. Like if they've got land Omni. What's this? This looks like a Quaddle, perhaps. destroying my Chromox. Okay, this is really interesting, but yeah, seems like they really didn't have much going on in hand. Um, I think I'm largely okay with this, I guess. Like, you know, okay. I could cast right of like I could make 4 goblins right now, but I can't see. I don't see 4 goblins being correct because if I can just draw another mana source, then I can make 8 goblins or 6 or 8 goblins, depending on what the mana source is. And that just seems like a lot more goblins to me. A Manamorphose here would be a good draw. That ain't it. Although actually it's kind of an interesting draw. It's not what I need, but it's an interesting one because it means that if I do draw a black mana source, I can maybe bait a counterspell or something. I'll have some options anyway. Some shit to think about. Let's see. Black mana? Black mana. Alright. I'm going to use the Gemstone Mine to make the red, because if they decide to counter the mine, then I just won't have to spend the Lotus Petal. But, I'm hoping this resolves, and then I can spoils, and that'll bait a counterspell, and then I can empty. The real question is going to be what to spoils for. There's one Burning Wish exiled. Probably a Dark Writ. If I spoils for Dark Writ, I can actually cast the Dark Writ, and if they counter it, I'll still have enough left for the empty. So I think I'm going to cast the spoils here. I'm hoping this gets countered. It didn't, so that's okay. I just need to not die. Which I didn't. Ooh, it was right on top. That's handy. So if they've got a Flusterstorm, that's annoying. I'll be able to pay for a couple copies, but not as many as I'd hope. And if they've got like a Trick Bind, okay, so no Trick Bind anyway. Looks like it's just resolving. That's good. Of course, it doesn't mean it's pretty far from meaning that I win this match because they could just easily combo me off. Yeah, the way they're playing is interesting, and they brought in a ton of stuff that I just wasn't really expecting. I mean, certainly wasn't expecting the chant, or really the return to nature, but they're definitely playing slow. Like it doesn't. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I'm just gonna concede. I'm not gonna. Can I? Can you let me concede? Come on. I'm just gonna concede. I don't think there's a point in me playing it out further from here. Since they're so far ahead at this point, there's no point in slogging that out. So that was very obviously like truly Bant Omnitel, uh, which is possibly even worse than normal, since as we saw, Empty the Warrens is a lot less effective when Terminus is on the table. Uh, so shit happens. Bant's no go player in denial. Yeah, you might be right. Yeah, and that was against Omnitel, also Ape. I'm glad to see you're still alive, though. My opponent is playing 61 cards. I don't know if anyone else knows that, but they're playing 61 cards, which I think is quite telling. I'm going to keep this hand. on the basis of them playing 61 cards, because I think it's some kind of non-blue deck is what I'm thinking anyway. And with that in mind, uh, this hand seems pretty strong against non-blue. The one thing I'm a little wary of is like Collector Oof, but I don't think it's going to pay to play around that. Um, so I'm just going to go all in. If they've got the oof, they've got the oof. Not really sure what that fake out tapping white was all about, but oh, can I undo that? It probably won't be a big deal, but I'm gonna undo it. Okay, well let's hope that gets there. Hope that's good enough. If they've got the oof, then this just isn't my league. I'm hoping they aren't an oof deck though because of the Field of the Dead. Abrupt Decay, Lotus Petal, that's fine. That's not going to stop me. Barring like a main deck Orms chant, I don't think there's a lot they could play that would um, stop me here. Obviously, Swords to Plowshares isn't good enough. There. All right, so we're good now. All right, so that's probably 4-color loam, I think. Um, let's see. I'm probably just supposed to not sideboard at all in this matchup. I don't know if they're like real deal lands, in which case empty might be pretty bad. Um, but if they're real deal lands, I will bring in silence on the play instead of the empties. This is a keep. Ain't throwing that shit back. A Chalice on 0 here would suck. What do you do against Prospect Deafening Silence? Against a Deafening Silence, I am looking to cast Doomsday, probably off of lands, but potentially on turn 2, 3 off of like lands and some uh, Lotus Petals or something. So you can, if you can resolve Doomsday, you can get through Deafening Silence relatively easily. Obviously, like Street Wraith, Oracle gets through it. Spoils into Oracle gets through it because you only cast one non-creature spell that way. So lots of ways you can get through uh, Deafening Silence if you can resolve Doomsday. This is a turn 1 kill. I have drawn the turn 1 kill. So I'm just going to try and think a little bit about how I want to play this out. Um, Probably I'm supposed to just go for it. If they've got Mindbreak Trap, so like the kind of what I'm thinking here is that I want to set things up in a way that if they have Mindbreak Trap, they pick the wrong thing. And I want to not expose myself to um, something like Force of Vigor. Force of Vigor. That's the card I'm thinking of. I'm gonna make black black and just drew another land. That's fine. So I think at this point I'm probably supposed to just not draw them a new hand with Echo Vions because it seems like they just don't have anything. So I'll just do this old chestnut. All right. Not bad, not bad. That's the kind of shit I want to play against. Fucking blue combo decks. Get right out of here. Fuck right off. All right, jumping in. Yeah, fuck them. People who play decks like that are stupid. This hand goes. Makes minimum 8 goblins. Um, Potentially more depending on what I draw off the Morphos, or if I draw like a Lion's Eye Diamond or something, and I can, or even another Dark Writ, and I can Burning Wish for empty instead. So I think minimum 8 goblins makes it worth it. Plus I'm on the draw, so I'll draw another card. So between that second draw and the Manamorphose, it might be even higher. And looks like we're up against Burn. So get to see what's on top of my deck, and that might change my game plan a bit. What was it? Cabal Writ? Well, that makes more goblins for me. So it's a good place to start. Let's see. I am going to play this first. Then I'll Morphose. I'm going to make 2 red so that if I draw an extra something to make more mana, I'll be able to Burning Wish. So red, red. I did not draw it. So unfortunately only 10 goblins, which is not a ton. Although if I draw another land, I can add the Oracle to it. Or I can Burning Wish for something. So that's unfortunate. I do wish I had been able to get another storm um, out of the deal. So just going right to my dome, which I guess makes sense. Probably trying to like get me in Fire Blast range. So this is an interesting spot for sure. I don't want to die to triple bolt. Like, I almost wonder if it's going to be correct for me to... Actually, it's probably correct for them to not attack. But if they do attack, it might even be correct for me to double block. I guess it'll depend a little on what's on top of my deck. But I can totally see them not attacking. Okay, so, well, I'm going to let this trigger resolve first. Let's see what's on top of my deck. Chrome Mox. Okay. So I need to think pretty hard here. I think I do like the double block too. Um, yeah, I don't think I have enough attackers to reliably, because like I'll take, if I go to 9 from this attack and then I'd go to 7, they would only need, I guess they'd still need triple bolt, but then I can't use my land at all, so I'm gonna block. I think the block is the right play here. And then I'm thinking I want to Burning Wish for Cabal therapy, maybe. Can I view my fucking sideboard here? So I swing for 8, and then, like, I'm going to be on a 3-turn clock no matter what, and 8, 7, 7 is still lethal instead of 8, 8, 8. And I think I can spare the life. Like, 11 isn't really much different from 10, although I will have to spend another black. 9. Well, I'm going to attack. Let's attack first. They're all coming in. Is there any merit to holding 1 back? Yeah, I think. Because, like, again, 3 hits for 7 damage is still lethal. Um, is it right to Burning Wish here? If they have triple bolt, like if they have land and 3 bolts, they're just gonna do it. Wishing for Chain Lightning. That is an option, I guess. Being able to kill one of their creatures or put a little extra damage through is an option. Although I don't want them pointing the Chain Lightning back at me, so I don't think that's an option. Grape Shot, maybe. I just don't know if I'm supposed to wish. I think I am. I think I am. Because if I can nab a spell, then if I can nab something they can't play. Well, yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. It's really close, I think. If this was not a City of Brass, I think I would wish 100%. But so it seems like they don't have a second land. Oh, they do have a land. Okay, that's interesting. Well, I hope I draw another black mana source here. I don't think. Okay, I definitely can't use that. I don't think I'm supposed to. Um, I don't think I'm supposed to tap my City Brass now because if they have another bolt, I just lose. So I need to make them not. I need to make them have two bolts basically. Is the way it seems. They didn't fire it off there, so Exquisite Firecraft, that just does 4 damage, right? Okay. Well, so be it. I suppose if I didn't wish, uh, I would have had the extra life there. So, hard to say if that's, you know, yeah, I don't know. Alright, am I supposed to cut Doomsday here? I think I probably am. It seems pretty weak. Bring in the silences. And the Infernal Tutor. And I guess bringing back in a Street Wraith is okay. Yeah, that's too bad. I suppose thinking about it, even the chance of hitting something meaningful, and especially hitting 2 things, I guess keeping Doomsday on the play isn't bad because like a turn 1 Doomsday is probably going to get there since they can't really deal enough damage right away. But yeah, this hand just isn't doing it. Neither is this one. Well, I think I'm throwing away games here. I pretty much have to keep this, right? I put back the Burning Wish and the Infernal Tutor and make minimum 8 goblins. If I can draw another well, yeah, you could argue that for sure. No, see, the deck's not a meme deck anymore. It's gotten a 5-0. That comment is too long for me to see who said it, but I'm guessing it was Ape. And I think there's a chance you're right, especially on the play. On the draw, Doomsday is probably too risky, but I think you very well may be correct. All right, drawing another spell there was very strong. I'm gonna make red black, or actually I'll just make red red. So I got to 10 goblins. Um, the Glimmer Void won't stick around, but if I can draw another land that will stick around, the silence will be pretty good. So spear. Yeah, I'm trying. Not going so well this league, but it's been alright so far. Dope. So I'll attack with everything. I won't be all that surprised if they just don't block. They block. Because if they just didn't block, that would mean that they're almost certainly trying to push through a lot of damage. But I think they kind of have to block. So now if I silence in their upkeep, um, I doubt they're going to attack. But I think if I silence in their upkeep, that's basically they would have to have a board wipe for it to not be game over. Because they'll get one more turn, so they'd have to be able to board wipe. Um, but I'm definitely going to silence in this upkeep. Because I don't want them putting another body on the board either. Alright, so now, even if they wipe my goblins, I have a chance to draw something like Yep. 2 damage to each creature and each player, and naturally their prowess happens. See, oh, each creature and each player. That's interesting. Well, at any rate, I now have the possibility to draw like Burning Wish and be able to Grape Shot them to death. Um, so, but I do need to actually draw those cards. What we got here? Exquisite Firecraft. Okay. It's a lot of expensive spells in their hand, but it does a lot of damage, so who the fuck am I to judge? That's a pretty good draw because now they can't Chain Lightning me. And now they can't cast any spells. Oh, except that one. So I think I'm dead because now I can't cast any spells. Certainly not enough spells to Grape Shot them. Yeah, that sucks. That's really too bad. That sucks to lose a good matchup like that. Well, that's life. Shit happens sometimes. You may just be right though, Ape, what you said earlier that cutting Doomsday was wrong. Um oh well. We'll just aim to win the next two and I'll get the 3-2 and we'll maybe play another one. But yeah, I mean, I think I threw away game 1 by casting that wish. Um so you might be right that that's the way to play that. Um this is a turn 1 kill. So I'm going to keep it. You might be right that that would be the way to play that. The thing is, so I was thinking about something like Pyroclasm. Um, no, I'm not super familiar with burn lists, so like I don't know what they would have that might be. What was that? Get out of here, Ardor. What they might have that would be a board wipe, which is why I did it in turn 2. But if having known that Volcanic Fallout was the card to be on the lookout for, I certainly Silence in their turn 3 would have gotten the job done. Um, I'm probably supposed to play the Lotus Petal here before I Dark Rit. Um, I don't know what they're playing. I have no idea what they're playing. Um, the fact that that's not a snow covered forest makes me think that they're not playing a blue deck, a deck with counter spells. But I don't really know what it would be. But anyway, I'm just gonna go for the kill. Imprint Cabal Writ so that if they do have a counter magic, I would still have the second Doomsday. Um, I think that's not unreasonable. Um, it's not like I need to play around days or anything. So yeah, you're probably right. That probably would have been better. I do think, for what it's worth, that they're almost certainly not going to be doing anything to me here. But the one advantage or the one argument you could make is that this means I don't need to cast the Lotus Petal, or I don't need to crack the Lotus Petal to go through this pile. So if they did something bizarre like, I don't know, stifle the Street Wraith or counter a Manamorphose randomly, I would still have mana sources available to try again next turn. But I think both of those, excuse me, or I think that definitely is pretty marginal. So I think you're probably right that imprinting the Cabal Writ is technically the superior option. I was thinking maybe depths, so we'll see what I'm a little hesitant to keep Empty the Warrens in against a Lotus Petal deck. Because like if it is depths, I feel like Empty is pretty bad. But on the other hand, I have no idea what the fuck they're playing. So I'm probably just gonna submit, because if this is like Titan Stompy, some Stompy type deck that has a basic forest and Lotus Petal in it, uh, then I think keeping the empties in is just fine. So yeah, that's depths or Titan Stompy. I've seen a couple of Enchantress lists that sometimes play Lotus Petal. An empty, I don't know. I haven't played against that deck enough to really say. Elephant Grass would be annoying for Empty the Warrens, but if they don't have it, there's lots of like there's lots of cards that would be I wouldn't mind having empty playing against Enchantress. So I don't know. If it's a non-blue deck, probably just not sideboarding at all is perfectly fine. So this hand obviously doesn't have any business. If only it had a Burning Wish, I would just peer, but I'm not going to rely on my draw step to find me business. So I'm kind of chilly. I might go grab a sweatshirt real quick. All right, so they mulled to 6. I'm also going to mull. Hit click. There we go. Well, this hand doesn't do it. It doesn't make Doomsday on turn 1 because I don't have a black card to imprint. And it only would make 6 goblins, which is not enough, so I think I have to mulligan. This cat's Doomsday, so I'll keep. I'll put back the Burning Wish, and I think I'll put back the Cabal Writ. Because I want to have an extra land. In case they say play Collector Oof or something like that. There's an argument maybe for keeping the Burning Wish to have a second business spell. Because it's looking like they are on depth, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some discard here. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. I think I just need to be. I think I need to make my Doomsday plan as robust as possible. Because even if they had discard and I kept the Burning Wish, then I wouldn't be wishing until turn 2, and I wouldn't be winning until turn 3, or really casting Doomsday until turn 3, and that's a lot of time. So just gonna have to hope to draw something now. If I draw another Doomsday next turn, this will kill on the spot. But yeah, this is looking like it's almost certainly depths. So let's just get lucky and draw another Doomsday here. That ain't it. Let's think. So this makes 6 mana. So Burning Wish is an option. The thing I'm thinking is that if I draw into, but like the goblins probably aren't going to be fast enough. If I draw into Doomsday, I could cast Doomsday now, win next turn. But if the Doomsday is on top of my deck, then I can just draw Doomsday next turn and win next turn without having to spend the Manamorphose. So I don't think I want to cast the Morphos right now just to randomly draw a card. Have I ever felt like a Consign Oblivion would be a worthwhile sideboard option? Yes, and I have played it in the sideboard before. The thing is, so the sideboard empty, the Doomsday, empty Doomsday and Tendrils are like and Echo. Empty Doomsday, Tendrils, and Echo. Those are the big 4. I would never play a sideboard without those 4. Then the Cruel Bargain, the Pier, and the Grape Shot are probably the next 3. And then everything else, the Therapy, the Infernal Tutor, the Chain Lightning, the Hull Breach, are cast so infrequently that it almost doesn't matter what they are. Like you could almost just play an 11 card sideboard, and things would work out fine. So the question in my mind is kind of like, do I want to play that kind of generic answer, or do I want to play more specific things that are better at doing their job? And that's kind of the second option is kind of what the conclusion I've come to. The other thing that's worth thinking about is that you basically can only cast Consign off of lands. Like you need a land to be able to cast it, whereas you can cast Hull Breach or Chain Lightning off of uh, excess mana from a Rite of Flame or something. So, okay. I think I'm just going to play the Glimmer Void and play the Lotus Petal and pass because if they got a Crop Rot, then they got a Crop Rot. Let me think here. So if I Manamorphose into Burning Wish, yeah, I don't have enough to Pier. I wouldn't have enough to win on the spot. So unless I got a really really good draw, like I could wish for draw 4 and get a really really good draw 4. But I think it's just going to make sense to just not cast the Manamorphose here. And if they've got the Crop Rot for Hex Mage, then so be it. Yeah, there it is. Yep. All right. So just going to bring in the silences. And hope it's good enough. This is generally, I would consider this a pretty good matchup, but obviously things can go wrong. This isn't good enough, I don't think. Actually, let me think about this. This might be okay. So if I play Gemstone Mine, I can silence on turn 1, and then on turn 2, I can silence them upkeep to like Time Walk. And then on turn 2, I can play Gemstone Mine, Rite of Flame. If I draw something I can imprint on the Chrome Mox, I can Burning Wish on turn 2, and then try to win from there. Is that risky? Is that too risky? Because if they got a Wasteland, I'm in a bad spot. If I don't draw something I can imprint on the Chrome Mox, I'm in a bad spot. So is that just riskier than a mulligan? It probably is. I'm going to mull. I'll be happy to take people's thoughts on that. All right, I'm going to keep this. Put the Burning Wish on the bottom. So best case scenario here is that I draw Dark Rit. I'm going to make black black. If I draw Dark Rit, this wins on the spot. Not a Dark Rit. So here I'm just going to spoils for Lineside Diamond. And hope it works out. And it doesn't look like it. Okay. Well, that's a shame. Why silence over chance? Because I had 4 silence and not 4 chance. I think the marginal, like, they have different upsides. Obviously, chant targets, silence does not target. And so silence still silences people who put out a ley line or whatever, but chant can stop attacks. The reality is that both of those things almost never come up. I think it's one of those things where, maybe if you were playing if you were going to a store, like to your local store or whatever, a 1K in your area, and you knew that there were lots of Goblins players there, maybe chance would be better. But if you knew you were going to be playing against lots of show and tell people who might be playing ley lines, then silence is going to be better. All right, I'm just going to keep this. We'll see if Spoils the Fault can redeem itself for me. Looks like they're on Dredge. They're Cabal therapying themselves. So theoretically, I should get a turn here, unless their hand is super good. So what they got? Yeah, Breakthrough, Shambling Shell. Okay. So yeah, so they're therapying the Shambling Shells, and then next turn they'll break through and try to make me dead. But perfect. That's the shit I'm fucking talking about. Yeah, exactly. All of the marginal upsides of either chant or silence are all so marginal that it almost doesn't matter. All right. So here's the thing. Do I just echo, or do I spoils for Lotus Petal so I can have red mana available and then echo? I think the answer is just echo. They're dead. Give me all that fucking mana, dude. Yeah, I mean, you definitely have an argument there. There were points where it's better for sure. But the biggest motivation was that I had 4 silences on Magic Online and not 4 chants. So, all right. So against Dredge, the empties are going to come out, and I think my silences probably come in. Um, this is probably a matchup where chants, you could argue chants are better than silences. Uh, oops, I didn't really want to bring in all 4. We'll just do that. Well, let's go for the 2-3. I'll get my 50 play points back. I'll go to the bathroom, and then I'll jump into another league. This is a really interesting hand because if I draw a free mana source, for example, or another Rite of Flame, I could just I could hard cast Echo on turn 1. I almost want to keep this. This is probably way too dodgy, right? Like obviously drawing an LED would be really strong. So I have for hits that will win me the game or win me the game. Let me go off. For hits that would let me go off, there's 3 more Rite of Flames, 4 LEDs, another Manamorphose, so 3 more Manamorphoses, uh, 4 Lotus Petals is 14 cards, 4 Chromoxes is 16 or 18 cards. Fuck it. I'm just gonna keep it. Oh, well, I guess I'd still be hard casting the Echo. This means that another Rite of Flame isn't really good enough. And obviously LEDs aren't good enough, and another Rite of Flame isn't good enough. I don't think. Actually, another Rite of Flame is probably still good enough. Yeah, it would be. Them hitting Dark Writ off this Cabal Therapy would be a little annoying. And if their last card in their hand is just a Lion's Eye Diamond, that would be a little annoying too. They did hit Dark Writ. Pretty good. That makes my hand a bit worse, for sure. So a Doomsday is going to be the best draw for me. Burning Wish. Alright, I'm going to cast the Rite of Flame and make red-black with this Manamorphose, because if I draw another land... No, not another land. Well, I think I'm still going to do it. There's a couple draws that I could get here that would let me cast Doomsday this turn and that I'd be reasonably happy with. So, that is one of them. Now, the problem here is I have to pass 2 turns. So it's pretty likely that I die. But this hand isn't really going anywhere. So, no, I don't think the draw 4 is going to be where it's at. I'll still lose half my life. I'll have 4 random cards. They would have to be very, very good. It would have to be very, very good to let me win next turn or even the turn after that. And Doomsday will let me win not next turn but the turn after that. So I think both are very low percentage, and I think the Doomsday is a higher percentage. It's possible that I'm wrong, but that's what I think. So Gemstone Mine, and then Manamorphoses, and the Oracle. We'll just hope for the best. The best is going to have to be pretty good, though. I need them to have a very bad dredge. Can we not do it like that? Thank you. Actually, maybe we will do that, but I'm just going to shrink it down a bit. Make it a little bigger, but more manageable. Okay. So, Grave Troll Dredge. Hope it's real bad. I don't know what the last card in their hand is. If it's like a break. Did they not dredge? Why did they not dredge? Even with the looting in hand, why would they not dredge? Terror of the Peaks. Yeah, I mean that's looking decent for them. I guess what? Unless they have the LED in hand, they still need to hit another bridge probably to or some Icarids or something to get something rolling here. Well, it's not impossible. We'll just see what happens. So there's another bridge from below. So if they sack the Narcomoeba, they can get... I don't know if they can do it. They hit for 3. They don't have another Cabal therapy to get rid of the... Okay, well, I suppose if they have a gem... what the fuck's it called? Mindbreak Trap or something, then they can do it. But this might have been good enough. They conceded. Okay, well, got my 50 play points back. So that's too bad. That I definitely think I blew up. I blew some games early on with some of my choices in between sideboarding and some little things, especially like in the burn match. But I'm gonna go to the bathroom and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do another one. So give me just a second. Alright, I have returned. Adam 4300, hello. You came just in time for my bathroom break. Alright, I'm just going to jump into another league. Same list. I don't think there's anything I wanted to change about it. Get that out of here. Okay. Play the slower DDOT list you posted. I could. I already joined the league with this one, but I guess I could drop from it. It's I don't know if I even have all the cards for it though. I'd have to look. I probably do, but maybe next time. I prefer the dodge Delver method rather than crush Delver. I want to just play against like Manaless Dredge. 5 rounds of Manaless Dredge. Easy peasy. I think I'm supposed to keep this. This cat's Doomsday on turn 1. If the Morphos draws me something good, I could even win right away. It would need to draw me like a Lotus Petal or something that makes some more black mana, but I think I'm supposed to just keep this. That would be really funny. That would be really funny. Might be worth it. If someone gave me the entry fee for a league, I would probably do that. Now, if you did that, would the stipulation be like I play City Brass and just spoils right away, or would I be able to play my other rituals? Yeah, that would be the problem. And then the other question is citing Spoils of the Vault out allowed? I would assume no, but yeah, I feel like if I was the one voting, I would vote for like Abandon Hope every time or something like that. But all right, so we're just gonna kick things off here. Um, so I want to make black black with the Manamorphose because that way if I draw a Spirit Guide, I can use red and black to play the Cabal Rit, and I'll still have a black for Spoils of the Vault. And obviously I can cast the Cabal Rit off black black if I'm just gonna. All right, well that's totally fine. We'll just do it this way. So I think I'm going to make the pile be just the 4 Morphos pile. And that way, if they take my spoils or they destroy, okay, they just conceded. Dope. Um, I need to see if I can make these chat boxes and my chat thing smaller because the top of this thing got cut off. Looks like someone, I don't know who said it, sorting their Magic collection in Cube collection decks. It was Ape again. Break it up into 2 messages next time. I wish I could read all of what you're saying. But I guess you keeping busy in quarantine. All right, assuming this is a non-blue deck, I'm just gonna submit again. I can't see it. I don't know if you're being an asshole or not, but if people make long enough messages, it gets cut off for me. Mostly just because of the way I'm doing it. I could open the okay, I figured as much. I could open the window probably, but and see it a little better. Open the old Streamlabs chat box. All right, what's going on with this hand? Well, this hand could just spoils for Echo. I don't think it's what I want to do. This is an interesting one. I think I'm going to keep this. So if I draw a free mana source, this wins on turn 1. Or can win on turn 1. If I don't, like I can still Street Wraith and then maybe cast a Doomsday. If this was a different land, if the Glimmervoid was a different land, I would 100% keep this. I think the only reason I'm debating about it is because if I don't draw an artifact, like a permanent artifact, the Glimmervoid could disappear. This seems pretty risky to keep. Maybe I am supposed to mull. Okay, that's a keep. This is just Echo. So, where's my chat box widget? Yeah, whatever. Fuck it. You don't mind not playing a land and cycling Street Wraith? Yeah, I don't think it's unreasonable to do that for sure. It's what we need is a spoils counter. I've got a little bit of extra space in uh, my stream display, my stream layout, so I could put some fun stuff in there with echo counters and stuff. Landfall triggers, right? It's an option. In my paper list, I can't find my Glimmervoids. I thought I had a playset of Glimmervoids, but I couldn't find them, so I'm playing Aether Hubs in my paper version of this. Not that I've ever played this deck in paper besides like a little gold fishing, but so I actually think this deck mulligan's okay, but I'm also not going to be echoing with no mana floating. I will have 1 mana available, so I don't think it's that unreasonable. But yeah, I do think the deck mulligan's okay. Maybe that's just me, but like any deck that can mulligan to 2 and still win on turn 1 seems okay to me. Hmm. So I could Burning Wish for Echo and Echo again, but I kind of feel like that's actually a worse play than just passing the turn. Because if I just pass the turn, then a free mana source wins the game, or like a Dark Writ or another Rite of Flame or another Cabal Writ wins the game. So something that's +1 mana, that's not a land, wins the game. Another LED would also theoretically win because I could peer. So I think I'm just going to pass a turn. The thing I am going to do, though, is I'm going to play out the Lineside Diamond to avoid like a Chalice on 0. Uh, but yeah, I think that just passing here is the way to place to be. Because I think an Echo with no mana floating is questionable when I have a game plan for next turn. If they play a 3-ball here, that's a little annoying. But I could just draw another land and then I'd be able to hardcast Doomsday and maybe still have a shot to win. And if they play Chalice on 1, I am unperturbed. I don't think you can cast Doomsday that turn. I didn't have enough black mana. Rip. Oh, I see what you're saying. Rip plus Wish plus a. So the problem with that though is that then I would still have to. I'd have to pass 2 turns after casting Doomsday to actually win with Doomsday. And so, I mean, like I can see the argument for that, but my opponent is playing Pithing Needle probably on Lion's Eye Diamonds, so I don't think it's gonna matter. Well, I'm not passing 2 turns necessarily. By depending on what I draw, I could win on my turn, and so uh, I don't know. I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. I'm not sure it's. I'm not convinced that it's was the better move, um, because it very much locks me in. Uh, but I definitely see the merit in it. But from here, I've got several. There are several cards in the deck that I could draw, many of them four ofs, that will let me win the game on the spot. Um, I do not play Polluted Delta. It's a full rainbow land mana base, so they've they've got no idea what's going on. And if they had let me finish the Doomsday, they would have seen the whole deck last time. So they well, it's unfortunate. This is one of the cards to draw that doesn't let me win the game on the spot. Um, but I'm just going to cast the Doomsday. And I'll need to think about what my game plan here is. I think I probably just want to do the 4 Morphoses and the Oracle because I want to play around a Chalice on 3. I mean, a Chalice on 1, Chalice on 0. I want to play around Karn and potentially Pithing Needle on Street Wraith if they've got another one. If they have a Chalice on 2, I'm dead anyway because I don't have Cavern. Yeah. So I don't think there's no point playing around Chalice on 2. A pile of just like Street Wraith, Oracle would play through Trinisphere, which is okay. Although actually, I think the Manamorphose pile still plays through Trinisphere. So I think I'm good with this because the Morphoses make mana. Oh no, it doesn't play through Trinisphere. I would need to make an extra mana for each of them. But yeah, I think I'm okay with this. I just have to pass some turns if they have Trinisphere or Sphere of Resistance. So I think I think this is the pile I want. It's possible that the Street Wraith pile is better. I'm not sure what their removal options are like, or if they would play any. I suppose if they had removal, I still have the Doomsday. That's that I could hard cast, so I could cast Doomsday and pile it back up. So maybe the Street Wraith pile is better. Just thinking about it, if they had the Street Wraith, even if they did play the if they played a Pithing Needle on Street Wraith, I could actually Rite of Flame, Burning Wish for the draw 4 and win that way. But anyway, we'll just go with this. I think I'm probably okay. Green Sun Zenith for X is 3. What do they get at X is 3? They have Leovold? Leovold would be a bit annoying for sure. They get Collector Oof. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. So, barring a Mindbreak Trap here, I think we're good. Warping Whale exiling Thassa's Oracle doesn't really matter because I will have 0 cards left in my deck with this pile. If I did the Street Wraith pile, that would definitely be an option. But yeah, so it looks like this pile worked out for what they had. There's still the possibility of Mindbreak Trap fucking me up, but here's the Oracle, and it resolved. Great. Better start than last time. Let's crank out a few more wins. Here we go. The 5-0-10-0 is the goal. I don't know if you're saying that's what you've been doing with your list, but that's what I'm aiming to do here. Well, yep. This is a keep. Oh, it's Arkan again. We played against Arkan last time. I don't remember what he was playing. Was it Depths? Well, this hand seems totally fine to me. Yeah, I don't think I've had a 5-0-10-0 ever. Outside of the practice room. I've definitely had had probably had better than that in the practice rooms. but that doesn't count. It's been a while since I've had a 5-0 anyway, much less a 5-0-10-0. Arkan was playing Depths, right? They were the Depths player? I'm pretty sure. This hand is nice and resilient to discard, though, which is good. I like that. Yeah, that's what I thought. Interesting. Well, we'll find out. Regardless, I like this hand because if I draw another spell that's +1 mana, I can make goblins and potentially also echo. So I think this is definitely a strong hand. And if I draw Burning Wish or something, this just gets me Pier, and I almost certainly win if it resolves. Snow-covered swamp. Dark Grit. Well, what the... Is this just an ad nauseum? Curse of Misfortunes. What does that do? Beginning of your upkeep. Okay, so this is probably the Curse Stompy deck. Well, I'm just going to try not to give them an upkeep. Oh, fuck! That's so brutal. Do I just scoop to that? Yeah. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. I think I don't sideboard, though, because empty seems like it's still probably fine in this matchup, even though they could have Plague Engineers or any other, like Toxic Deluge or some kind of blackboard wipe. I still think empty is going to be better than other crap. But yeah, that was really brutal. Yeah, I know. I don't think that like on the play, I think there's an argument for bringing in the silences instead of the empties, so you can use them like as time walks. Um, but I still think I think there's a lot of their keepable hands are going to involve lock pieces and not board wipes. Like I don't think they'd throw a hand away that couldn't board wipe. So I'm just gonna rock it with the empties in the deck. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that was pretty devastating way to start off, and it definitely sucks. Definitely sucks that they probably had a pretty good idea of what I was doing. There's a good mull to 5. All right, let's see. I think I'm supposed to keep this one because I get a lot of potential hits at the Doomsday. Um, yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. And if I draw a Lotus Petal or something, I don't even have to cast the spoils. Um, so I think there's a lot of strong potential with this hand. Definitely a little bit of risk reward going on, but I think it'll work. I can make it work. Worst case matchup? I don't know about that. I think in general the Chalice matchups are you spy an Arduino IDE. Yeah, that's been using that for school and stuff. But yeah, I don't think this is a worst case matchup. Most Chalice matchups are pretty okay, in my opinion. Uh, them knowing what you're doing doesn't help. So like coming into game one at a disadvantage doesn't seem like it would help. Um, I think it's possible that this particular Chalice matchup is worse than other Chalice matchups. Uh, but but in general, I don't really think Chalice matchups are extremely unfavorable or anything. Let's see. So the first Morphos has to make red black so I can cast the second one. Yeah, I mean I haven't played against this Curse Stompy list enough to know for sure how bad it is, but well, we're doing the thing. Let's just hope it works. Doesn't look like it. Oh, I guess I didn't die. But I did exile Athos's Oracle, so that fucking blows. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright. I need a game plan. I don't think I have a game plan. I think the only game plan here is going to involve some kind of an echo pile, maybe. Like grab LED, LED echo. Yeah, that's the only option here. Hopefully they'll just mind break trap this and I can concede. Let's see. So LED echo. Need a second LED. Um, Is that even going to be enough storm? Like, I feel like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't think it's even going to be enough storm. Like, I think I need to echo twice. But I don't have enough cards left for that. There's Doomsday, there's those two, and then there'd be 2 echoes and only 3 cards left. So yeah, I think I'm boned here. Yeah, no, I cut it. I cut it because I was hardly ever casting it, but this is the time when I actually would want it. Um, well, lesson learned, I suppose. I'm trying to think if there's maybe a way if I can empty and then recast the Doomsday. That might be good enough. So let's do this. Echo, LED. I want to pedal Dark Rit, and then I can cast the empty. Oh, I think in this situation I don't want the second LED. I want 2 Dark Rits. And then I can cast the empty and rebuild the Doomsday pile and have enough cards left to echo. Like, the chances of this working are so incredibly slim. But it's a plan. So we're going to go with it. Do they play discard? I think I want to draw the echo first. So that there's no chance of my LED getting discarded. Yeah, I mean, I think all of these plans are equally bad. Because they all involve passing multiple turns and stuff against the deck that's going to fuck me up immediately. So let me just hit this yield button. Yield through this turn. Because if it's just a Chalice on 1, that's game over too. Hymn to Turok. Well, okay, I can live with that. Chalice on 0. That is game. I'll just concede to that too. Alright, so that sucked. But yeah, like if I hadn't hit the Oracle, then my pile would have been able to beat a Chalice on 0 plus a Hymn to Turok. So I would have been okay with that. I think I'm going to mull this. Doesn't do anything till turn 1. This goes off. And by goes off, I mean it does something. So I'll let it do its thing. This is a good draw. A little more Storm. I probably should have played the Lotus Petal first, just in case they had something crazy like main deck Force of Vigor. But I think I'm just going to make Goblins here. Make them have it. So 12 Goblins is enough to beat most decks that aren't also combo decks. And this looks like it's not also a combo deck, so Hoping for the best. Oh, maybe it is also a combo deck. If this is Doomsday, then pass a turn piles are off the table for them, which is good, I guess. If this is Ant, I might be dead. But if it's Ant, they'll have to kill me next turn. I'll just send everything in. So yeah, they got one turn here. What did they do with that? They did shuffle off the Ponder, so hopefully they can't do anything to me. Another Misty Rainforest and a Brainstorm. It's getting hairy. I don't like the way this is going, though, because it's definitely looking like it might be Ant. They tapped that for blue, though, so they did do one top, one bottom. They found a Lotus Petal. Yep. Not looking good. That's just me dead, right? Okay, so they got Past in Flames, so it's just Ant. Okay. Well, it's interesting. I could have echoed with that Burning Wish. I could have got Echo. Um, I don't think it was correct to get Echo blind. Um, let's see. I think cutting Morphos is the right. It's what I usually do, and I think it's the correct line here. Um, yeah, it's too bad. Obviously, if I had echoed, I might have won, but I don't think it was correct to echo. With no idea what my opponent was on, so shit happens. Shit happens. I just wish shit didn't happen, you know? I wish I could have shit not happen. Yeah, and like knowing what I'm on or knowing what they're on also means that I um, definitely changes my strategy a lot because I would absolutely echo with no mana floating before I ever made goblins against Ant if I knew they were on Ant, and like that game I would have echoed with 2 mana floating, which is quite a bit for this deck. So yes, I would like to play first. I think I'm supposed to keep this, right? Force them force them to have the turn 1 kill. I don't see why I do anything else. I can make a pile that wins through just about anything they could have. And I think I want to just do Street Wraith, Oracle, because I don't think they're going to have removal for the Oracle. Um, and I want to avoid anything like a random Flusterstorm or something um, that could buy them another turn. I'll play the Lotus Petal and I'll pass. So just make him have the turn 1 kill. If they've got it, they've got it. I did not. I did Street Wraith, Oracle, Morphos. So yeah, this is looking pretty good for me. Barring something like, I don't even fucking know at this point. Yeah. Okay. Yes, something real bizarre, something really unlikely. Um, or like Pack Negation and then Writ, Exile Spirit Guide, Manamorphosed to pay for it. Just something totally fucking bonkers. Alright. I'm just gonna submit the deck again and hope for the best. So, what does this hand want me to do? I think I'm supposed to keep this because it can echo. And in a best case scenario, it can even just kill on turn 1. If I drew, like, I don't even know actually what I would have to draw. I would have to draw like something red I can imprint on the Chrome Mox and then Manamorphose into a Dark Writ. Exactly a Dark Writ, but it could theoretically do it. Yeah, I think this is a keep. It's also relatively resistant to discard, insofar as if they take the spoils, I can still do something. If they take the Doomsday, I can still do something. If they take the LED, I can still maybe do something. So there's another Spoils of the Vault. So I drew something I can imprint on the Chrome Mox, so I'm definitely supposed to Manamorphose for black, because if I do draw the Ritual, I can just try and kill. Resident Spoils for Silence. I mean, I guess that's a play. The weird thing about that is that here, I'm just gonna click cancel here. The weird thing about that is that, like, even if I do silence them, I still have to win. And like, I don't know what's in their hand. I have my second land. Yeah. Just, but I also run the risk of, exiling the Oracle again. Whereas if I can just yeah, I think I'm just gonna fucking, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna cast the Morphos right now. Make black. I drew another Spoils. Not exactly the card I wanted to see. So there's an interesting play here. Like, I mean, I could Spoils for Dark Writ and then pass the turn. Spoils twice, don't be a coward. I mean, if I did spoils twice, what would I even spoils for? I think I'm leaning towards just the spoils for Echo. Uh, yeah, fuck it. I'm not gonna sit around anymore. Fuck them. Fuck them. Yes, baby. The Thassa's Oracle is gone. Here we go. Here we go. They're gonna flusterstorm me here. I can smell it. No, they probably have a veil, and they're thinking about veiling. They decided not to veil. Oh boy. Oh boy. 2 Burning Wishes were exiled. I'm supposed to just try and go for it, right? Like, I can't. There's no way for me to put Silence mana down. So I'm definitely supposed to just hope there's a Burning Wish in my top 2 cards. Because I'm gonna die if I don't. This is the fun of Spoils of the Vault, people. This is where it's at. What do you think the chances are? This is the big YOLO, big yeet energy. We gotta ask nicely. Spoils of the Vault, I implore you to not kill me. I am your humble servant. Oh boy. Well, it's not a it's the Flusterstorm. Yay. uh The opponent didn't want a chance. There's no reason for them to risk it. Because now I'm empty-handed and they probably can just kill me. Yeah. Fuck. Ugh, not my day today. I'm just gonna assume it did. I'm gonna assume that the Burning Wish was in it. I should have drawn the cards so I would know. But no, we're not gonna 1-4. I'm going for the 3-2, baby. I feel a comeback. I'm feeling the comeback coming. This is the worst I've ever done with this deck in a league. Like last league, the 2-3. I don't know if I've ever had another 2-3. I've had some 3-2s, but maybe one other 2-3. But I don't want to, I don't want to make that a trend. Yeah, why not? Fuck it. I'm already not doing great in this league, so let's just keep some shit. Actually, this hand is okay. This isn't exactly shit. Um, I would have loved to like have a Lion's Eye Diamond in hand or something, or a Metamorphose instead of the Burning Wish or something like that. But I'll give it a shot. Yep. All right. So what's the plan then? Um, I'm feeling like this is a storm kill. So I draw LED. I can play Rite of Flame, LED, Echo. That's 3, and then I'll have I'll need to throw some Manamorphoses in my pile to be able to draw through the rest of my cards. Some LEDs. I think 2 LEDs and 3 Manamorphoses should do it. Yeah, I ain't about that life. I'm planning to win. I don't want them to have good luck or have fun. I just want them to die. 1, 2, Doomsday is 3. This is 8, 9. So I don't need this third Manamorphose, so I can cut the third Manamorphose for a Lotus Petal. Maybe I should tell them that in chat. Alright, how do you think I'm going to get fucked? How do you think they're going to have my number here? Is this going to be one of those, That's certainly is a way to do it. Fucking Chalice on 0. I haven't done that, Ape, but I really should. It seems like a good plan. I don't think I do anything. I don't think I sideboard here. I really want to play this deck in paper. I haven't gotten a chance to yet. I really want to because revealing cards for Spoils of the Vault is extremely dramatic in paper, especially as you gotta do it real slow and flip cards one at a time. Let them get down low. Name some 3-ofs. All right, let's take back this match. It's so close to just being the turn 1 kill. I think the play here, though, is to Doomsday into a Quad Morphos pile, because that's going to play around Chalice on 0 or Chalice on 1. So yeah, I think this hand is fine. One thing to think about is like Mindbreak Trap. Or a Thalia or something. In which case, maybe there's some merit to the like 2 Street Wraiths into an Oracle pile. But I don't want my Oracle to get removed. So maybe there's some merit to the 2 Street Wraiths and Manamorphoses pile. Let's do it that way. I think I'll put the Morphoses on top. I'll just have to remember, the order of my pile, um, so I don't mess up with my colors from the Manamorphoses. And then I'll play the Lotus Petal, and then I'll pass. Yeah, if I had one more mana, I could have won on turn 1 here. Um, it's also worth pointing out that last game actually, maybe I couldn't have. Well, I can't remember if I had a second land in my hand last game, if I could have made a pile that would have beat the Chalice on 0. Um, this is where they have like triple Lion's Eye Diamond plus land plus Chalice, and they just put Chalice on 2. That's the dream. We got a diamond. Uh-oh. It's happening. Just like I said it would. An Oko. Okay. Well, I'm not concerned about that. They Oko my Petal, but I have the Rite of Flame. So unless they got a Mindbreak Trap or something, I should be okay. So make red red. Draw the Morphos. This one has to make blue blue. Cycle Street Wraith. Yeah. Okay. Whew. Got one. I'll just see if I can get one more. I don't have great stats on how often I cast Pier. I've cast it a few times. Real good when you do cast it. It's definitely a little expensive, and this deck tends to operate on somewhat thin margins. Um, so I've wondered if it's worth including in the sideboard, because the power level is really high, but it does just don't cast it all that often. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna keep this hand. The YOLO with Street Wraith is probably too YOLO for me. This hand is super weak to a Chalice on 0 for one thing. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to just mull it. No initial mana sources. Although if I drew one, this hand wouldn't be so bad. But to the top of my own deck. Yeah, exactly. Same with this hand. Look, Ape, as much as you might say that, and as much as I might Spoils of the Vault for 3-ofs and stuff, or from very low life totals, Spoils of the Vault statistically favors me heavily. It's not really that YOLO, but hoping to rip something off the top on a Street Wraith draw is a little bit YOLO. To be fair, I mean, yeah, the first Spoils is not that YOLO. It's pretty reasonable. Just wait till you get the third Spoils, though. That's when shit really hits the fan. All right, so this hand can be kept. see, 2 cards on the bottom. I guess the empty will be 1, and the Street Wraith will be 1. I don't think seeing 1 card deeper with the Street Wraith is worth a 2 life, since I'm probably going to be spoiling, and I'm going to have to tap a City Brass. So. Whoops. The fuck? Did I just concede or did it crash? I think Magic Online just crashed. Come on. What seems to be the problem here? Okay. Doesn't look like I conceded. What's my opponent got for me today? Better be real good. Probably is. Green Sun X is 0. Very interesting. Well, okay. Just gonna do the thing and hope it works. Right, no chalice, but I still need to survive this spoils. That's the real problem. They probably have like a fucking Flusterstorm or something, just out of fucking nowhere. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Alright, last match. Ape, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. I think you're bringing your bad luck into this chat. You're bringing all of your terrible spoils luck upon me. It does. I did the math. I ran the simulations. Definitely feeling like I'm on the ass end of variance today, though. Well, I'll aim. Well, we'll get the 2-3. We'll get the 2-3, and I'll just call it a day. Maybe I'll rip up my spoils after this. I'll burn them. I'll burn them on the sidewalk. No, see, the good variance does feel good. In fact, the good variance is like shooting meth right into your veins because you didn't play the deck enough to have those times where you spoils down to 5 life and then spoils again and win. Like that's the good shit. And the yeah, oh, look at this hand. This hand's perfect. the the spoils variance that's bad. Like you probably weren't going to win that game anyway. So you end it faster. It's high life EV. You save precious minutes of your life where you could be doing something other than playing a children's card game. So this deck is the pinnacle of legacy evolution. I don't know how you look at this and think it's anything except perfect. I can you can guarantee I can guarantee that this game could be over on turn 1. I don't know, like deterministically end this game on turn 1 by naming like Abandon Hope with Spoils of the Vault. The deck is perfect. All right, let's think this through here. What am I spoiling for? I think it has to be Lion's Eye Diamond because yeah, because if I try to make goblins or something, and I lose a lot of life, I'll just die. I can't afford to pass any turns. So just gonna spoils for Lion's Eye Diamond. Tarpan. Tarpan is a very close second. Maybe next time. I'd really like to not lose to Burn again though. So well, I only have to go from 18 to 0. So if we're being realistic here. Lion's Eye Diamond. Let's do it. I didn't die. All right. I did exile some good cards though. 2 Burning Wishes and a Doomsday. So that's kind of unfortunate. Spin the wheel. Yikes. That's pretty bad. Yeah, nope, I haven't. I should learn how to do that. Make me some red mana. A Doomsday. What are the chances I don't die when I cast this Doomsday? How bad does their hand have to be? So one of my Morphoses got exiled, it looked like. Or maybe I just didn't see it. Oh, it's under the Chromox. That's where it is. So, but I have enough mana, so the Spoils of the Vault is just going to name Manamorphose. I won't lose life to it. Um, but almost certainly what's going to happen is that I'm going to lose. Yeah. Let's see how bad their hand is. Another Goblin Guide. Okay. So they put me at 3, and then they bolt me. See, I should have put a land on top. And then I wouldn't have needed the 4th Manamorphose, because I would have just drawn a land with Goblin Guide. It would have been perfect. And here comes the Chain Lightning. Time to eat a bolt. Yep. Great. Sick. Alright. Send it back. Yeah, that's the real problem, is I didn't spoils good enough. This is a keep, right? I Doomsday on turn 1 and just win on turn 2. And it's very unlikely that they can, like, I don't see how they do enough damage to me. They need a Mindbreak trap, basically. Glimmervoid is a good draw. No Mindbreak trap. Alright. So, what's the absolute most damage they can do to me on turn 1? It's 3, right? So go to 7. Maybe, I guess, like 4 if they have Vexing Devil or something in their deck. And then my spoils past 3 cards. So I think what I want to play around Mindbreak Trap. So I think what I want to do is this. Because I can't really play around. I can't really play around like a Red Blast, but oh yeah, sure. Street Wraith would have been a better draw. I'm not saying there weren't better draws, but the Glimmervoid is a fine draw. This smells like a Red Blast. Not much I can do about it though. Because even if I had done like an Echo Pile, okay, no Red Blast. That's good. Even if I had done an Echo Pile, that wouldn't have been able to beat a Red Blast either. So one more time. Yeah, I guess. Right? Am I supposed to keep this? If I draw another free mana source, this just wins. Pass a turn pile is super risky though. It does echo, yeah. I think you're right. I think this is just a keep. And we'll get to see what's on top, so I can make a plan here. Let's just be another free mana source. A Lion's Eye Diamond? Okay. Well, that's not exactly the free mana source I was hoping for, but it certainly is something. So I'm just echoing for sure. I'm trying to think about what I want to put under this. Which would be better? Probably the Doomsday is better to go under it. Yeah. Because that's going to be harder to, like, I need my draw 7 to be better to go off with that. Whereas if I don't lose too much life to the spoils, I could still empty and be good. And I'll crack one of the LEDs for I'll crack one of the LEDs for red. When I echo, so I'll have some red mana floating. Did I cast the spoils? Click spoils. There we go. Alright, let's just hope for the best. Echo. Echo of Eons. There we go, Jesus Christ. Fingers crossed, people. Oh, what happened? I lost. Fuck me. Okay, well, I got that 1-4. Who predicted the 1-4? I know one of you did. Oh, Jesus. Alright, well, thanks for watching, everybody. That was, thanks for watching everybody except Ape. That was, definitely not the best showing for Spoils of the Fall. Alright. Yeah, I cast a couple Doomsdays I cast a couple spoils after Doomsdays, so those don't really count. I think I'm like 1 for 3 or 4 on the day with the Burning Wish been a lot safer. Spoiling for Burning Wish been a lot safer. Safer, yeah, I guess. I guess it would have been. You'd have less mana floating, be 3 instead of 5. But yeah, I probably would have been safer. But exactly, yeah. I mean, at that point, the best record I was getting was a 2-3. So, who even gives a shit? But yeah, I think I probably didn't play very well today either in the first league, especially. I had some uh, maybe less than ideal play, but yeah, I don't need no pity points. I just need to inject spoils to the vault straight into my veins. All right, well, thanks for watching.